Is Salesforce bulk API consistently timing out when you try to query tables with large record sets? PK chunking can be a savior when we're faced with frustrating timeouts. So what is PK chunking anyways? PK stands for primary key, or otherwise said, the object's index record ID. That is the primary key within Salesforce. Chunking is when we're splitting up a mammoth data set into manageable chunks, which ends up boosting our performance. Before we dive into the details of what PK chunking is, take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel, Salesforce Explorer. We're constantly exploring the breadth of Salesforce, one feature at a time, so we'd love for you to join us on this journey. Under the hood, PK chunking is performing subqueries to break up that large data set. Each chunk is processed as a separate batch which counts towards your daily batch limit. It is including where clauses on the starting and the ending record IDs to define the successive batches within the bulk query. It is running these separate batch processes in parallel, which significantly cuts down on our job runtimes. Enabling PK chunking in our bulk API query job request is very straightforward. In the header, we simply include the following line. There are 3 parameters we can add: chunk size, startRow, and parent. By default, the chunk size is set at 100,000 records. But we can modify that chunk size by setting the chunk size value as follows. Notice 250,000 is our upper bounds. Increasing batch size will result in fewer batches, but it will also make them less performant. We also have the option of defining which row we start with. Start our processing. We set that via the startRow as follows. One last parameter we can utilize is the parent field. This specifies which parent object we're using when running queries on shared or history objects. The chunking will be based off that parent object's record versus the shared or history object. For example, if we were looking to at the account history, we'd actually be referencing the account object instead. We do that as follows. When this process begins, it will subdivide that original query into multiple batches. Once those batches have been queued up, the original batch process will now move to not processed. This status signifies that all batches have been successfully created. If the chunking process fails, the status will now update to failed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all chunks weren't created. Any batches that were successfully generated will process as expected. Lastly, when a job is successfully batched, you'll need to track the progress of those individual jobs. The original batch will continue to show not processed even when all sub-batches have successfully run. So a few helpful tips regarding PK chunking. Salesforce recommends we enable this for objects that exceed 10 million or when bulk queries consistently time out. Next, PK chunking is supported for custom objects and most standard objects. I've included a link in the description below detailing which standard objects are supported. Next, be careful when filtering by ID or using an order by clause. These can effectively disable PK chunking for bulk query jobs. Next, when you define a chunk's ID boundaries, soft delete records will be included in the results. They won't process, but they will return less than you're expecting for that record set. If you're struggling with problems in Salesforce, consider reaching out to the company that I work for, Improving. We have a team of awesome Salesforce consultants that can help you with any problem. Please reach out to us at improving.com to explore how we can assist your team. We look forward to talking with you. Thank you for taking the time to explore PK chunking with us today. I hope you found this video valuable. If so, please take a second to like and subscribe to our channel. We're publishing videos on interesting Salesforce topics all the time, so we'd love for you to join us in future sessions. We look forward to seeing you then.